Grand Rising, gems and jewels. Good morning and good afternoon and good night in some places. Definitely. Hello there. I am your host, Corinthia Peoples, and this is Power in My Pivot. Happy all things new, continued and released. Happy New Year. Power in My Pivot is a live broadcast where we discuss how ordinary people, such as me and you, become extraordinary in our own right through the power of pivoting, turning and changing and moving our lives from the prescribed direction of mass societal roles and conditions. This is a show for men and women, kings and queens, dukes and duchesses. This is the time. This is the time. The time has come for us to control the narrative and remember how we and who we really are, and to set the stage through leading by example. On today's edition of Power in My Pivot, we will have an intimate discussion with Marina, aka I Am King's daughter from south of France, who is a native African of African descent. On the tender topic, on the tender topic of the interconnectedness of the Africans and the African Americans, and why she feels that the two should have a seat at the table in her effort to mobilize a mass pivot entitled The Exodus Project. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Welcome back. Yes. So I want to again welcome you to the show, Power in My Pivot. Again, Power in My Pivot, we're here to have a discussion. We're here to unpack the details of our pivot, our transformation, whether that's voluntary or involuntarily, circumstantial, or just by sheer survival. It's a talk of our soul's journey and our evolution as humans, which we have to make all the time. Welcome all to the room. This is an interdisciplinary conversation and dialogue. So drop comments in the chat along the way. Comments, questions, or just a yes, get it in. Those are welcome too. Right? So at this time, if you would not mind to please like and subscribe, and thank you to all those who've already done so. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our special guest for this edition of Power in My Pivot. Our special guest today is I Am King's daughter, Marina. Marina, I Am King's daughter, is born in Senegal, West Africa. Both of her parents are Cape Verdeans from Cape Verde. She's lived in France ever since she was 11 years young. Marina speaks 4 languages: English, of course, French, Wolof, which is the native language of Senegal, and Cape Verdean Creole, which is a mixture of Portuguese and broken African, Portuguese and African. It's kind of like our slang, they're making up their own languages from being from different places. Marina is a vocalist. She's a songwriter. She's a visual artist. And now she has launched her YouTube channel, I Am KD. Good TV, where she and King Mula, have an open dialogue regarding the topic of a mass exodus back to Africa. For 6 months, Marina traveled to America and planted her feet on the soil here. She's lived in London and in Senegal, West Africa, her birthplace. Marina, IMKD, everyday to-do list is music, invest in her dreams, invest in Africa, and participate in Africa's grand rising. Welcome to the room, our guest, Marina. I am Kid's daughter.
Hello.
Hello there. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing really well. It's so good to have you on the show.
I know it's so good
Yes,
to be
negative.
here. I'm very
Negative.
happy to be here.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. What about
Yes.
you? Can you hear me? Are you receiving me?
I can hear you. I can receive you. I'm going to turn up my volume just a little bit here.
Yeah, let me turn mine on.
Okay,
as well.
Perfect. Now we're loud and live and direct. So we are live, and I want to just greet you by saying Nengadef.
Magnifique, nangadef Corinthia.
Nisi Yamas and Tiala.
Nakasawaka. See, you know how to speak Wolof. Samawaka nyungifi nakasawaka.
Tutirek.
Tutirek.
Diga ola tut.
Ouais, non, dégg nga bu baax.
So she just said, no,
you're too cute.
Good.
You're too cute. You speak it so cutely with your little American accent. I love it.
So I've been to Africa twice. And I've been to your birthplace, Senegal, twice as well. And I want to open this interview up with a little quick story. While I was there, when I would get dressed, I would dress in the way I normally dress, but also add like a little African flavor, right? So like, I would wear like a top like this one, but I would have on a denim skirt.
Yes, I love that. That looks nice.
I thought so too. I felt really good. I felt, how you have to feel cute in order to like
exactly
confidence. So I'm at my friend's. Well, I get dressed. We go to his mom's house, and there is women that are there at his mom's house. And I walk in the room, and one woman, she was kind of like older and elder. She looks at me and she says, "Where's your lapa?" I said, "African, American."
I know.
Because I had on the African top and the denim skirt, I'm like, African, American. Like,
exactly.
This is my look.
This is it represents me. You represent my identity,
Exactly. Which I didn't think of it at the time that I did it. It was just how I got dressed. I wanted to, and I would go to market every day.
All of us would do that. Even the African who never went outside of Africa, we like to mix African garment with like more modern stuff because we like the idea that we will always be able to wear African stuff, even in everyday life, even, when you have a modern style, you can still, include it. So just because of that, just because we like the idea of being attached to our African looks and African fashion styles, we always mix it with other things. So, yeah.
That is what it's just fashionable. It's just how
I know. Yes, exactly.
Yes. So I'm so glad you are here because, I feel like the conversation that we're about to have is like the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Amongst us, as African Americans, like we have our own conversations. And a lot of the narrative of our conversation has been that the African thinks that they're better than us, right?
Oh. Okay.
Oh, the like the men is like, oh, I'm from this place and we don't do such a wahala.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like they think like you are, and that is just
Olivia.
ignorant people that would think like that, because we know in all community, in all nation of the world, there's different social categories. So of course not everybody is going to have the same story, not everybody is going to be the same. So people who think as Africans that they are better than African American because they have more value and stuff, it's just ignorant people that you can find in all communities, in white people and other people. It's just ignorant people. But fortunately, most of a lot of African educated people, they know what's up, and they know that is not true at all. I mean, it's true that this is the biggest representation of African American that we see in mass media. They like to show they like to show your community, show the all the things that are wrong about the community. But when you know better, when you don't base all your opinions on on mainstream media, and when you tend to think by yourself, you don't think like that. You don't think like that. We have enormous examples, a lot of examples of brilliant African American geniuses, both men and women. We have a lot of examples of that. So we cannot deny, okay, that African American people are, most of it, like most of them are a great people. Like most of it is like a great community.
Mhm.
And even based on your history and on everything that you guys had to go through, like I mean, we cannot blame a lot of things
Mhm.
about you on
Mhm.
you. Like we cannot really think bad about you, you
Mhm.
know, from my
You're
point of view.
frozen. You're frozen, Marina. I
Oh
can
really?
hear you really
Yeah.
well, but you're
in
frozen.
my in my end, my image is not frozen, it's perfect, so I don't know why
Hmm.
it's doing like this. Even your one is not frozen, everything is perfect here.
Okay,
And my connection is at the maximum,
you have
so
all your bars. So that's
yes, I have
really
them
weird.
all.
I don't know why
What
you're
about your
frozen.
connection?
Can we have someone in the room? Um, are you
Yeah,
able
tell
to
us.
see us? Is Marina frozen? Can we just have you guys, because you guys are our eyes and ears on the other side? Would someone in the room tell me if Marina is frozen, if you're seeing what I'm seeing? Just type in the chat, everything's good, or yes, she's frozen, or just let us know what you're seeing on your side. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, in the meantime, while hopefully someone will do that
Okay.
in the chat, I'm gonna continue. I wonder if I will and then add you back to stream.
Is it better? No? I'm still frozen? Oh.
Oh wait, now it's moving. Yes, she is. Yeah, she's
Oh.
frozen. Teresa, hi Teresa. Welcome to the room. Okay, now it's moving slowly. Um, Let me add you back to the stream one more time to try to troubleshoot.
Is it better?
No. Okay, so we're just gonna go. We can hear you. Teresa, can you tell me if you can hear her?
Yes,
I
at
know
least.
she's frozen a little bit, but can you hear her? It's moving. I think it may catch up. I think it may catch up,
Let
Marina.
me let me check something right now on my phone, is if everything is closed. Mm.
Hey, thank you for being patient. We're having just a bit, we're just trying to troubleshoot this because this is a really great conversation that I really want us to have it live on live stream, interact with Marina. Here we are right here. We have, African Native African,
Okay.
African American. Oh,
So
perfect.
is it
Yes,
better
you're
now?
back. I think you're
Oh
back.
yeah.
think
Okay, cool.
I think you're back. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
So then, yes. Okay. Yay. Okay. Yes. So let's just unpack this before, like, let's get it out, honey. Who knows? We might have things happening that we are not.
No problem.
I
I'm
want
so
to unpack
open
this
to
a bit,
it.
so we can get through the show and feed
Hmm.
people. Marina, tell me, is the Exodus Project a consciousness, a state of mind, of mindset, or is it a physical movement of people? What is the Exodus Project?
Okay, so the Exodus project, like my Exodus project that I talk about, in my point of view, it's more a mindset. It's more like a choice to get closer to our roots as a African descent, you know. But in our like in our how do you say, in our process, we think going back physically to Africa is a important part of that process, even if you don't go back to live there permanently, if you don't go back to stay there forever. We think that you still need to go at least one time to Africa and see where is it that you were from, no matter if you are African American or if you are an African descent from the diaspora who never went to Africa. It's equally serious for both. It's very, very important for everyone who are a descendant of that land to know what he is or she is talking about when they talk about Africa. Like, they need to really know the reality of it, because we are all human beings on the planet are connected, and even more the human being from the same race. So I think that we as Black people, we really need unity today, and the land that we need where we gonna need to do that, the land where we're gonna have the occasion and the possibility to do that is Africa, because it's our land, you know. So yeah, this is why it's very important to me. The
Mhm,
Exodus project is first a mindset that you have to choose to have. You have to choose to want to
mhm,
be closer to your roots. You have to choose to want to develop your African identity, to give a big importance to your African identity to give a big importance to it in your life, you know.
mhm, mhm,
So first, it's a choice.
mhm,
Second of all, once that choice is made, it's a mindset. It's a mindset like you're gonna know now, after hearing all the things that we talk about, after listening to the Exodus Project and other people who talk about this type of stuff, like going back to Africa, unity in between the different Black communities.
mhm.
After doing that choice, you need to have like that mindset where now you know that economically, when you are spending, you're gonna try to spend in a Black people business, you know.
Mhm.
You know
I
now.
want to pause you 1 second.
Yes,
You
tell me.
mentioned, I want to grab this since it's because you said it and I don't want to forget. You
Yes.
mentioned that us all as Black people, you live
Mm-hmm.
in the south of France. Uh,
Yes.
you've been there from a young girl
Mm-hmm.
and you're from West Africa, Senegal. Do Are you referred to in the south of France as being Black?
Yes, it's actually the first time that I was referred as Black was here, because in Africa, when I was a little girl, they used to call me a tubab. You know, the Wolof people, when they say tubab, they
Yeah.
used to call
Tupac
me
is
like the
like,
little white girl, you know, white girl, you know. So yeah, this is where actually my Blackness was born, through the eyes of other people, so through the eyes of white people basically. So
yes.
they knew, they had no doubt about the fact that I was not white, you know. So it helped me to know who I was. So yes, yes, here and in all Europe,
You're still considered
I
Black.
am considered Black by all
Interesting.
non-Black
Interesting.
persons.
Interesting.
By
I want to pull those pieces out. So throughout when you're talking, I'm going to interject a little bit because these
That's
are
fine,
the
don't worry.
pieces that not only I wonder, but others
Yes,
wonder too. Like, okay, we
yes.
call you guys Native Africans or the Africans, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But here in America, we're all considered black, whether we're light,
mm-hmm.
dark skin, this, and that. So it's necessary to hear whether or not you internationally in Europe, uh, London, these places are also considered black.
Like, I want to be very clear about that. I am considered black uh, by the non-black communities. For the black communities, it depends. It depends. For the white people, the Arabic people, the Asian people, all the non-black communities, I am like black, 100% black. They don't really do the differences in between, like complexions, or like they consider me black African and all. Even if they know that I am mixed, they don't acknowledge the white side, they just acknowledge the black side. But in the eyes of different black communities, like for Africa,
So wait,
for
wait, wait.
Cape
So
Verde,
both of your parents are Cape Verdean.
yes.
So, oh, but wait. So you can, just like South Africa, if you're born in South Africa, but you're of Caucasian descent, you're still
Mm-hmm.
considered South African, right?
Yes, yes, of course.
So,
Like in
so
Cape Verde, we have.
were both of your parents black or were you mixed?
So both my parents Cape Verdean, but my dad is white. Is more white. He still have like a little bit of. You can see a little bit of his blackness, but he's more white. And my mom is a little bit darker than me. But they're both Cape Verdean, and we have like dark skin Cape Verdean. My husband is a Cape Verdean, but he's darker than you. He's dark like a Senegalese man, but
Mm.
he's Cape Verdean.
So, okay, I just wanted to clarify that, right? Because when you
Yes.
say mixed, you could also be, you're talking about like, let me just be clear.
It's complicated.
No, it's
I'm
not
sorry.
complicated. I just want to break it down really quickly. When we talk about mixed, it's
Mhm.
mixed with black and something else that's not black.
Yes.
But when you
Yes.
talk about mixed, are you talking about the same thing?
I'm talking about the same thing, but it's still African. Like we Cape Verdean people have a nation made of descendant of slave, descendant of masters, if I can say it like that, and a mix of both. So we have white, a little less white, a little more black. You know what I mean? And then we have all the complexion. It's very complicated. On my dad's side, he stays very white throughout the years and throughout the history of Cape Verde. There's some families that stayed very, very fair skin, very white. I'm
Okay,
honest with
what
you.
do you
On
mean?
my dad's side, they
White.
don't look African at all.
Okay, because when you say white, you mean color. You
I
mean
mean
fair.
color, and yes, and we know that they are descendant of Portuguese too. So the color doesn't mean nothing, because we have a more I mean our ancestors like are known to us. We know who were our great grandfather and stuff. So I know about my white side and I know about my black side,
Mhm.
and they both Cape Verdean sides. They both Cape Verdean. We have white people in Cape Verde.
Okay.
Now we would not maybe call them white, because we know that they have a little bit of black in them for sure. But compared to the rest of the people, you can see that they are more white. So this is why I say mix,
Okay.
because it's not honest if I say I'm Cape Verdean, I'm black, da da da, and stop there. It's
Yeah.
not honest. I'm
Yeah.
Cape Verdean, but I have to be honest. My dad is more white than anything else, and there's a lot of white Cape Verdean, basically. So I'm Cape Verdean, I'm African, but I am not fully black on a race point of view.
Okay. So okay. So all right. Okay, we're there. I don't want to spend too much time on that piece.
Yes, I know
but
that part is
that,
so complicated all the
it
time.
is. And here in
And
America, um, there was this, we had this thing called the one drop rule.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of that before? The one.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
So here in America, it's changed though. I was speaking with a Caucasian male a couple of months back, and
Mm-hmm.
it's changed in their minds. But they're the ones who made it up. And the one drop rule was if you had one drop of black
Black.
in the white
You are
up,
black.
you were black.
Yes.
So that was called the one drop rule. But I was speaking with a Caucasian man a few months back, and apparently something has shifted. So apparently what's happening now, Marina, is that the mixed children, black and others,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
gamut of whatever else you're mixed with, is going to
Mm-hmm.
probably be the new black. And they're considering these people, the mixed race, not black, but
Okay. But
mixed.
mix. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if there's some point on a
No, I
job
mean, I know
there's
exactly
going to
why
be a
that
box that
happened,
says mixed.
but I know why that happened. I know exactly why that happened. Like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, on YouTube and on internet, there was like this the colorism discussion came out, and everybody was talking about colorism and about how dark-skinned Black people were erased progressively on TV and on shows and in the music. Images and stuff, and they were erased and replaced by mixed and ambiguous looking people, so the discussion started like that, and most of the influencers that talk about that, they had a very very easy solution to it. It was to exclude all mixed people, to exclude them of the Black community, and to stop calling them Black, and this is how the mixed people started to basically have their own community where they call themselves mixed and tralala.
Yeah.
But
and it's true. I guess, I have mixed friends. And it's true. It's difficult for them sometimes because a lot of times they're not accepted amongst the white side of themselves. Nor are they accepted in you, nor are you accepted amongst your black side. Like even people
yes,
from Senegal, being born in Senegal, you were still called Tuba, white.
yes,
So
they had a song.
African blood runs.
The kids, they would sing around you. Like I would walk by and they would sing around me too bad, like it was a song, like they would never let
Was
me
that hurtful?
forget.
Was that hurtful?
Yes, I was crying all the time to my grandmother, who is like maybe a little bit lighter than you, because I was growing up with my cousin. He was like my twin brother, and he's dark, So I was thinking, I'm so unlucky. Why am I not dark, And I would cry every night. I want to be black. Why am I not black? Like, and my grandmother, she would be so hurt. She would be like, no, don't think like this. You have to be very happy with who you are. It's very nice. Your complexion is very nice. You will see when you grow up, you would love. No, I want to be black. I want to be dark black. And she would not understand, because everybody in Senegal at that time thought that lighter was better. Everybody, because you were a little bit different than everybody. You would stand out, and I thought that all the most beautiful women were the darker ones.
So
I was very,
that we have that piece here in America too.
It's very international, actually. Even the white people, they tend to be more comfortable with light skin Black people.
Yeah, there's a documentary. I forget where it's based out of, but it was a woman. And if someone in the chat remembers this documentary, please put it in the chat. But it was a record store. It was a documentary about the first Black-owned record store. And it was a Black-owned record store, but they had a policy amongst the family, because it was a family-owned business, amongst the family, to only hire lighter skinned Blacks to work in their record store, because the stigma was that darker skinned Blacks would steal. that they were the ones that were the more thieved, were
Mm.
thieved amongst the colorism line. So yeah,
I mean,
it's
that is very, it's very hurtful to dark skinned people, but also very hurtful to us, because in a society where they think that they are giving you advantages and they are putting you in a position where it's very hard for us, because if you don't align with that point of view, if
mm,
if as a light skinned woman I don't align at all with this idea where lighter is better,
hmm
it doesn't matter, because just by the fact that I am light skinned, I will be perceived that way. Most of the black people gonna think that I love being a light. I love being advantage. I always take advantages of the fact that I am light in the black community. The fact that black people has a thing for lighter people and stuff like that. You know, so
hmm
they automatically think that I approve of that and I take advantage of that. So you live your life not taking advantage of that, not approving of that, because idea, and it's a very very false idea. No, you cannot judge nobody on their skin complexion
I
or
know,
on their appearances, no
I
matter,
know.
you
It's
know.
so
So
true. Oh my God. And I wish, so we're having some computer issues. Everybody that's in here, thank you for hanging in and seeing this through, because you can hear Marina and you can hear us. I'm just hoping that all the technical pieces just come together, because you are still a little frozen. You're
Oh,
moving
really?
slow.
But
Yeah.
now there's nothing more I can do. Like I
That's
fixed
fine.
everything.
We're gonna continue. We're gonna move forward. We're
Okay.
gonna move forward. So I have a question for you. My next question, Marina,
Mhm.
is well, this is the elephant in the room question. This is the big question.
Yeah.
So when I came, I got to give a little bit of backstory to lead into this question.
Mm-hmm.
When I came into being an African woman,
Mm-hmm.
when I declared to myself, I'm not just only Black, I'm an African woman with history, with pride. I have greatness on my shoulders, at my feet. I have greatness. So when I came into that, other African Americans, even particularly my family, were not there with me. So they would constantly tell me, hold your high horses on being African, because Africans do not look at us as Africans. They don't look at us as Africans. So I don't know why you're trying to embrace that, because even the Africans don't look at us as Africans. So my question to you, and I had to give that backstory,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
of course, I
Yeah.
stood in my African womanness because
Mm-hmm.
I felt that there was power in it. And as I moved through the world, it gave me a bigger understanding of who I was as a woman and my contribution that I
Yeah.
give as a Black woman in the lineage of my people, right?
Yes.
So this catapults me into the question:
Mm-hmm.
does
Mm-hmm.
Africans, and here we go, does Africans feel and believe that African Americans are Africans?
To be honest, I need to be honest with you 100%.
That's fine.
No, most of them, no. They don't see African Americans as Africans. You know, they see them as African American because of where we at right now. You know, the same way that on your side everybody was telling you, oh no, they would not see you as themselves, the same way on our side we see you as more than us, better than us. Most African would see African Americans more like the A-list black person, you
Really?
know. Yes, because you are black and American. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
they don't, it's not in a way that, oh, we are better than them. In a way that we know that you are black, but we don't really see you being in concordance with our culture, with some of our, mindsets. African, they have a lot of tradition, and they have a lot of, so sometimes they feel like maybe you live in a too modern world to
Mm,
be, to be in accordance with our tradition and stuff like that. It's more culturally, it's not on a race point of view.
mm,
Just let me give you an example.
okay.
For us, the people who live in a diaspora,
Okay.
most African don't
The
see us.
diaspora meaning Europe, places like Europe and
Yeah, me outside of Africa,
yes.
Europe, America, Asia,
Mm-hmm.
anybody who live outside of Africa,
Jamaica.
and who's been living outside of Africa for long enough, to African people, they are not seen as African no more as well, because they feel like you had to get out of your Africanness to
Mm,
integrate your new society. So for them, from the moment that you've been living in London for 5 years, you've been living in Singapore for 5 years, for sure you are not going to understand us, as good as the people who live here and who never went to London or Singapore,
mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So
Yes.
it's more like on a cultural point of view. On a race point of view, on the other hand, on the race point of view, they see you as black, they see you as the same people. They would always emulate, what African American do. Like, African American is the biggest and influence that African people have.
Wow. Wow.
Yes,
Can you say that
artistically.
again? Because when we were talking
Yes.
backstage, you said that and it blew my wig back. I've never heard this perspective. Can you say that again? That African American.
Alors,
Can you say that again?
African American, no matter what type of craft they are in, like politically, in the entertainmentally speaking, like the music, the African American community, the African American celebrities, the African American, everything is the biggest influence that we African have
Wow. Wow.
in our community.
Mhm.
Let me like clarify it, because I want this to be very, very clear. In our community, in our black community, globally speaking, on an international scale, first, the one community that has the biggest spotlight, the biggest stage, is the black African community.
Mhm.
It's not Twitter, it's black Twitter. you know
Mm.
it's not YouTube, it's the black YouTuber, it's the black woman YouTuber. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Hmm.
It's not hip hop, it's not music, it's not sports. You know what I mean? It's the
Wow.
black people doing their thing.
Wow.
You know
Wow.
what I mean? So this is what
Wow.
we see. You
So,
guys are the proof that us as black people, and even if you don't see yourself as black American, because you're not, but you guys are the proof that we as black people can, like he said, Drake, can be at the bottom, you know
oh, started from the bottom. Now we're here.
can be and start and be born at the bottom,
Started from the
and
bottom. Now
still
we're here.
be ruler,
Got
because
it.
you guys like are the ruler of the American culture. I know they try to hide it a lot, but at the same
And
time they
you're
want to
right.
use it.
You're
So
right.
it's hard to hide,
Wow. Wow.
to be
And
honest.
you're right. Wow. Did you guys hear what
Yes,
I
like,
just
I mean,
heard?
oh, do you
Okay.
know terms like, the pygmishas, terms like the tea, let's spill the tea, what's the tea, all of that was invented by black people, and
Yeah.
we saw it live on YouTube being invented, and today you see all the white people like, oh my god, let's spill the tea, and what's the Becky with the tralala. I'm like, oh, seriously?
Wait.
Seriously?
Wait. Pause. Pause right there. You guys, do you hear this? This is okay. So we all know every
Mhm,
African American in
mhm,
America
mhm.
knows that we are considered low on the totem pole But the every other culture wants ass, our lips, breasts, the small waist, the thick hips, right?
The
We
everything.
always say this, that well, they want to look like us, but then they treat us so bad. They treat us so
That
downtrodden.
is normal.
But
That
you,
is normal in a sense.
as an international African, native African, you see that too.
Wait, not only as an international native African, because us white people here, like the young white women that are my age, they still want to look black, and they are not American. They are not under the American influence,
So that happens to you guys
because
there too.
no, it's because on their TV as well, it's Beyonce, it's Rihanna, it's African American people. It's not because of us, because African here, they are not like that. They are not in that type of, demonstration, maybe some of the young people, but they're not trying to look African. They're trying to look African American. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's like a little
Oh,
difference.
so you're
And
saying that the international white is still trying to look African American.
wait, let's make it simpler. Everybody, let's make it simpler. Let's make it
Yes,
simpler.
unpack it. Yes.
Everybody, people from the Kanak people, okay, the Australian Aborigine people, the Swedish people, the Norway people, the Latino people, the Asian people, the African people, okay, the Mediterranean people, the Arabic people, all the Arabic women, they wanna look like Beyonce. They all tan, they all ta-da-la with their blonde hair, trying to look like Beyonce. Here in France, we have an Arabic singer. She's trying to be the Beyonce of France. You look at her, you feel like this girl is mixed. You would swear that this girl is mixed. Everybody. So let's make it simple.
Wow.
Everybody in the world is trying to look African American. Everybody. The other day, there was last one. Just one last one. Last one. The other day, there was a Moroccan guy dancing, and they were trying to say that guy looks like Chris Brown. The guy was Arabic. They were trying to say, some American was saying, see, we are from Africa because they don't. No, this is not your people. They try to look like you so bad that you feel like this is your people. This is not your people. But this is the thing. You guys are the biggest influencer, I think, in the world. And I think for us, the African Black people, it's obvious that you guys are like biggest influence, since you are influencing everybody anyway. You know what I mean?
Okay, so then how does it, I hear you. And on one part of that, it's very good. Like comments have been coming.
And the other part is just jealousy. Okay.
Just jealousy. Yeah. A lot of comments are coming in, Marina. Teresa Campbell just said jealousy. Leslie Ann Turner, she just said Black culture is the biggest influence in the world. She also said that they love our culture, but not us. So the street,
they cannot love you if everything you do. Wait, we have to own what we are and own our position.
Own our position. And that's why I do this show, because I also want to take control of our narrative.
Exactly.
I'm done with letting other people control our narrative. I want to have a voice in our narrative. So that's why I begin Power in My Pivot, so we can have a voice in this race. Marina, being that we're the influencers, right? There's another part to that. We're also being struck down, being killed, and demasculated, emasculated, and what is the talk and the feeling amongst Africans about Black men and women in America being murdered by law enforcement? What is that? How is that playing out?
Okay,
Now.
so the point of view I'm gonna give you is more like diaspora African French point of view, because I don't really know what African would say about that, because I didn't really talk about it with African, to be honest with you,
Mm,
because we have some black men that have the same. We have the same stories here as well. We have a few stories like this with the police and stuff. There's one. Everything was filmed not too long ago. He was just beaten down in his own house by the police. I will send you the video. So we see it in the same way that we see it here. We are not home, you know
oh,
you are
we say that one more time. We are not where?
we are not home.
Wow.
So
So
we
do you
feel
think
like here
this kind of Wahala doesn't happen in Africa?
I mean, it happens in Africa, but not unfairly like this. Like, if it happens, it's because you met a very bad policeman. Here, even if the guy is a good guy, you still have a chance because you are a black man, because it happens more to the men, just because you are a black man, even if the policeman is normally a nice guy, you still have a chance for him to being an ass to you, just because you are black. But it doesn't only happen with the police, at the airport, at the administration stuff here. Just the other day I was vlogging to show to show my city. I was with my husband, he's dark skin, so I'm vlogging, I'm talking about this city so good, I'm showing all the nice. And while we are filming, a guy came to him and started to be racist with him. So I filmed it. The guy started to tell him, "Oh, you are like a good African man. Oh, a good African." Like, out of the blue, he just came and started to look for for conflict and stuff. This is South of France in 2021. So
Wow.
we live this type of thing every day, and we cannot be
That's
fighting every day. So we have to have a reason why everybody gonna make it harder for us here. It's because we are not home, but if they give us the space, we tend to do things better than them.
okay.
So
Do you think
there's this jealousy.
do you think, Marina, we're experiencing it on another level here in America,
You
or would
guys,
you
yes.
consider it being somewhat the same?
I mean, you guys can, you probably live it on another level, because I remember when I was in New York, we would go to the best clubs all the time, clubs where you would be sitting next to Rihanna and next to other celebrities, this type of club. And all the time I would see the black girls not being able to come inside the club. When we were inside, and some of us were black, some of us were like African from Europe, just visiting New York. And one time I asked one of my friends, I said, why all the black girls, they can never come inside, and we are black and we come. He said, because they are American black girls. And I was like, and
Hmm.
and so
Hmm.
yeah, they feel like they're gonna
So we
bring like
are
a ghetto.
experiencing.
So
They
they
feel
were
like what? They feel
excluding
like what,
people
Marina?
who were from New York. Like, I mean, they were excluding people from New York in a hip hop club. They are excluding people who created that. How do you say? People who created that art was. They were excluded from the club that was celebrating that art. I couldn't understand that. When us black people from Swedish, Norway, France, and stuff, who
Didn't
didn't
create the
invent
art.
nothing. Okay, some of us didn't know nothing. Like, I know music, I love music, but some of us didn't know nothing about music, hip-hop, or enjoying music. They could come in all the time, every day, all the day, just because they were exotic. Even being black, they had an accent. They were, no, 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 we don't want black American women. So when I saw that they couldn't even go outside of their neighborhoods to have fun, because everywhere they were going, they were not welcome. I
Mhm.
was like, this is a little bit frustrating, yeah, because this is my country, this is my city. If I cannot go nowhere here to enjoy my life,
Mhm.
what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
you
So let
know
me
so
ask you
it's a
this.
little bit more serious there. It's a little bit
Yeah.
more.
So then
Yeah.
when you hear what we're going through here,
Mhm.
the Trayvon Martins, the Breonna Taylors, the Sandra Blands, like all these things that George, the Fred, the brother that just died. Um,
Mhm.
do you feel any type of trauma or pain?
I mean,
How do you what does that do inside of your body?
I used to want it to come to live in America, but I don't want it anymore. I used to want it to come and live there for 5, 10 years because I like the black culture so much. But I don't want it anymore because the black culture is the main culture in America. But the black culture is also the main oppressed culture in America. And I don't want to be oppressed. So I would not come to live in America. I would not advise any black person to go and live in America. So this is what I think about it.
Okay. So
You
then what
know.
brings me that also brings me to the next question, Marina, then.
Hmm.
And I don't and you know what? I get it. I want to just say that. I understand that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm gonna come to south of France. How
Yes.
about that?
Please come here.
How about that? How about I'm gonna set up
I
shop
mean,
in France?
you still have racist people here, but they're not gonna shut you. You know.
Yeah. So
you know.
this whole thing, were you able to see what happened? And this is the first time I'm actually talking politics on just a little bit. I'm just gonna dab it
Yeah.
just a little bit, and we're not gonna stay on it too long, Marina. But
Hmm.
so the white supremacists went in and went rogue. Basically, they went just too la la on the on
Are you talking
Congress.
about the Congress thing? Are you talking about when they
Yes,
take over the Congress?
yes.
Me personally, to
But
me,
wait,
all
I
of
want to frame
these.
it for you. I want to
Yeah,
frame it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Go ahead.
Um, so there's talks. There's talks around there being fear. There being fear amongst blacks because blacks people are don't know how the white supremacists have interpreted what's going on and how, who they may take out their hatred, anger, and
Mm.
frustration on. And many black organizations are in uprise, feeling that it could be the black community that may go to war with the white supremacists.
Yes, yes, I
What would
understand.
be your position? What might be your position as an international African
Yes,
to what could ensue? What
yes.
position will you take to what could
I
possibly
mean,
happen here in America?
yes, exactly. I'm so happy that you asked me this question because it's by answering this question, I'm gonna show you like a little something that I wanted to talk about with you. You guys in America, they have a game on you, on black people. They have a game on you where they always put you in a position where you're gonna defend yourself whether you did something or not. Even if someone else acted in a certain way, they did it, they decided to do something by themselves. It always comes to, okay, now black people, what do you think that gonna happen? What do you think we should do about that? What do you think what we should organize and what type of battle we should put in place so we can battle some. They are always giving you jobs, guys, and telling you that that job is for you to live better. And while you are focusing on those type of things, you are not focusing on your individual growth, on your individual development, on your growth, simply on your growth. uh the n-word example, like now on TikTok, if you want to buzz and have a little bit of followers, it's very easy. As a non-black person, you just need to say the n-word. Everybody gonna be like, oh, he said the n-word. They're gonna share the video a lot, and then you're gonna come and you're gonna do a apologize video. There's hundreds and hundreds of apologizing videos of people who said the n-word, and now they are like famous. They have a lot of, they are using it like this. All of the cause that you think it's great causes, they are not using it to develop the black community. They are using it to keep you stuck. Why do we care? Why do you care that some white supremacists take over? They can do whatever. That is not a problem. What you need to be doing is protect your house, protect your neighborhood. We don't care if it's in the time of peace or in the time of white supremacists taking over the congressman, all the congress place, all the time, because you know who you are dealing with, because you know what your story is. All the time, at any moment, your neighborhoods, your houses, your places, your community should be protected and defended in case of need.
Period.
You
Yeah.
know, period. And we don't need to be
And you
talking
know,
about, wait a second, we don't need to be talking about, oh, because of what going on right now, or because, no, in general, period. And another thing that I want to say to all the African American that are listening to me: don't fall for it. Most of it is cinema, it's a movie. Okay, when they show you people taking over the congress, blah, 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 stuff that they're not able to do it normally, they should not be able to do it. It's because normally they are nuts. If they are doing it and TV are showing it, it's all a movie. Most of the things that they are showing on your TV is to use your energy, not to use Asian people energy, not to use Italian people energy. They don't care about that. They don't need Mexican people energy. They always need black people energy. Every time some black people were shot by the police, everything was filmed like in a 4K camera. Everything was properly filmed. It's always shown on TV. They are always showing you stuff to frustrate you. They are always showing you stuff to make you feel like you have never done nothing. You know, you came from a place where you couldn't share the same bathroom that the white people, and see where you came now. Like that is over, but they are trying to make you feel like you didn't do nothing, you didn't
yeah,
overcome nothing, you're still there.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
That's
don't
what
fall for it. It's all a
it's for.
psyop.
Yeah,
It's all fake.
it's true. It's true. You know, my position when people automatically went to, oh, if that was somebody black, no. And I want everybody to hear my position on this piece, Marina, too, is I didn't default to that automatically. I didn't default to, oh, if it were us, this would have happened. No, no, no. Let's deal with what is. And let's not put ourselves in the position that we're not in. It was not us. We have another position that we are in that we should focus on. And I totally agree with you. We should be focusing on the other thing, not putting ourselves in a position that if it were us, then this would have happened, then this would have happened. No, we're going to miss. I feel that if we continue to put ourselves in the place that we were not in, we're going to miss what's happening.
Exactly.
We're going to
And
miss
that is the
really
goal.
what's happening because we're
That's what
so
they're
caught up
trying to
with
do.
putting ourselves in the position that we're not in. Let's not do that, people. Let's not put ourselves in that position. We're not in it. It was not us. Let's focus, like you said, on what's going on so we don't miss what's really happening. That's my position. That's what I'm going to say about it. Marina, I have another question for you.
Go ahead.
You spoke on it a little bit, but if you
Yeah.
can kind of, maybe some of the audience, because we know as African Americans, and when I was in Africa myself, the Africans did not call me African American. They called me Black American.
Black American?
They call me Black American.
Yeah.
So I want to know just you, and you gave an example, and you said that it's not as bad as here. But I guess my question was, I'm just going to say it, and if you want to add just a little bit of piece to it, is what are racial injustices that you face in France, in abroad, in some of the other places that you've been as an African woman, straight directly from your lens for you? What's been something that you've experienced or witnessed?
So in France, in my part of France, that is very, very different from Paris, because Paris is more modern. Paris have more African people, so they are more used to Black people. I'm going to talk about the south of France that is more white, more traditional, and less used to Black people. Here they are in they are living a little bit in the past, mentally speaking, in a way that they are very, very surprised when they see a black person doing well in life, like being successful and stuff. Like I have my stepdad, he works in like a NASA company, the European NASA. He works on making satellites and rockets, you know. So they are always very, very surprised that my dad, an African black man, does this type of engineering job, you know.
Mhm.
Here they are still surprised about that. They would not be surprised if he was black American, if he was African American. They would not. But yes, white French people, they would not be surprised that a black American is an engineer, but they would be surprised that an African is engineer. Like, you know, a black African
Wow.
is,
Wow.
that's so weird, you know.
It's
But yeah,
reversed. Reversed.
this is
It's
the type of things
reversed.
that we have here. Like I used to have a job here when I came back from London, and I was working in this hotel, and they made my life a nightmare. They made my life a nightmare because I was the only black person there, and they would take advantage of the fact that I would work more than everybody. I would do everything more than everybody. I was obligated to do my work the perfect way, when everybody could do just what they wanted to do, you know. And
Yeah.
at some point they started to work all together to put me in a position where I would feel submitted to everybody. So I had to lose my good job just because going there every day was not possible anymore, you know.
Interesting.
And the only reason they had to treat me like that, since I was doing my job in very greatly, everybody was jealous of me because being black, being just amazing and doing my job great, and they just hated
Being
that.
black and amazing.
Yes, they just hated that. They couldn't stand that. And me, I'm a very nice person. So by the time I understand that people are, being, sneaky, it takes me time, But at some point, it was just so obvious, and everybody at the same time, and all together, I was like, okay, you guys can coordinate yourself like this to do me wrong just because I'm black and you guys are white. Okay, I'm out of here. So I had to lose my job. I had to lose a very nice contract. I had to lose all the advantages that I had by working, just because they were giving me like mini oppression, mini, aggressivity, mini stuff. They would talk about black people in front of me, and you know what? I could see the jealousy. It was not hate, oh, I feel like I'm better than you. It was jealousy. It
It was
was like,
easy. It was
I
easy.
feel like you love yourself, and I have a problem with that. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like you know what I mean. I feel
Yeah.
like you don't
Yeah.
feel less than me.
Yeah.
Me being white, you being black, you don't feel. And French
Yeah.
people, they have a little complex with English speakers. And they are very bad at languages. French people are bad at all languages. They are bad in everything. So I was working in a hotel, but my English was just amazing to everybody that was coming at the hotel as a tourist, as a client, because most of the time when they meet the people of the hotel in France, the people cannot even align three words in English. So they have hard time in
Mm.
France,
So it works
communicating
for
with
you
people.
differently when you speak English.
And that was my death,
So that's
because all the time.
another one up on them that you have. Not only are you black and
Exactly,
beautiful, but
exactly.
you
they
also
couldn't they couldn't bear that. They couldn't stand that when people were coming from everywhere and everybody speaks English, white, black, nana, and they always wanted to talk only to me because I get them, I understand them well. They only wanted to communicate with me. That started to be a problem to everyone in the office. So
mm,
they didn't especially wanted me to leave, but they wanted me to pay for every time I make them feel less than me. It was very weird. So it was very all the time. I had to
welcome
leave.
to our world. That we go through that
This is my word. I
all
go through that all the time, my whole
the time.
life.
And a lot of
All the
times,
time.
Marina, a lot of times, a lot of us do not have the luxury to
Hmm.
leave a job.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
a lot of us stay in it because it's what pays our bills and feed our families, right? Until we
I
get
know.
the courage and
I
the
know.
confidence to make a change, we stay in toxic
Yeah.
arenas, in toxic environments such as that, and it just kind of depletes the self
Yeah.
and the
in
self
our
value of
in my
us.
case, the men are like that. The men don't have the choice. If my husband was in a job where he would leave that, he would have to go through like justice and through stuff like that to make it right, but he cannot just leave his job. I
Yeah,
could leave my job because I have a husband who takes care of me, so I didn't really need the job to pay bills and stuff, so I could. But there's a lot of women who cannot leave the job. They
that's
cannot
right.
afford to,
Yeah,
you know.
that they couldn't. Hey, Marina, where does the
Yeah,
African woman specifically stand in and on mixed marriages? So,
yeah.
like, what is like? Because we here in America, some of us, not all of us, I can't speak for everyone, but
Mhm.
um, some of us still feel that it's a betrayal. Um,
Yes, I know.
for the black man to leave his race. Especially
Hmm.
since there's so many fabulous black educated, beautiful,
I know.
soft spoken, loving, um,
But I know, no,
nurturing
it's
black
not about that.
women.
It's
Why
not.
are
It's
you
not about
leaving
that.
your race?
Hmm.
Where do you stand on that? Even if it's Marina, even if it's African American,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
French Cape Verdean,
Yes.
African American Cape
Yes.
Verdean. Where do you stand on that? What's your
Me, I love the idea of mixing people. I really love the idea. I'm a product of mixing. Like my whole country is a product of mixing, races. So Cape Verde, So I would not be. I love the idea of mixing, but we need to keep in mind that even if we love mixed people and we love mixing, we need to put black first. Let me explain. As a mixed person, I need to know that I am mixed, but I need to put black first because the cause ask for it. Not because black is better than everybody else or black is better than my white side, because the cause ask for it. So I
because
don't
the
mind
what
you
asked for it?
guys mix. Huh?
The what asked for it?
The cause, the black cause, the cause of the how do you say cause in it? It's I thought it was cause. I mean the what we need to accomplish as a black person, no matter which country you are from and what's your nationality,
Hmm.
is greater than anything else. So that's why we need to prefer our black side first. I know it's not politically correct to say that, but we need the union, we need the power in that side more. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I don't mind people mixing. I find it very nice. I don't see it as Trajan, but we need to keep our the first place in our heart for the blackness, for black people, for our black side. And we need to make sure, like me, I want to marry a black man and I won't have children with a very, very dark black man because I want my children to be the darker they can. You know what I mean? So you will still
You were
have,
when you were
yes,
young.
you will still have people like me who would make sure that the blackness, the real dark black people would not be erased. There will always be people who would make sure, but don't that should not make you stop from swirling. In America, white men and black women have the best marriage statistics. This is the couple that last the best, that last the more. White
White woman.
men,
Oh.
no, white men and black women. This is number one. Number two is black men and black women. Number three is white men and white women. The less successful marriage, statistically speaking, in America is white woman and black men.
Mm.
That doesn't work in the
Interesting.
numbers on
It's
paper.
interesting that it doesn't work because it's very rampant. It happens. a whole lot, a whole
You
lot.
know, so I
Um,
don't mind the mixing, but be careful.
yeah,
Research first, because there's some combination that doesn't work really well, but after that you can do whatever you like, you know what I mean?
yes, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So, do you have a burning question for me as an African
Yes.
American? And I want
Sure.
to bring this because, I always wondered,
Mm-hmm.
how does African women feel like when people such as myself and many of my friends go to
Mm-hmm.
Africa and marry the men there? And
Yeah.
whether we stay there and live or bring them back here, how do they feel about it? So I always wondered.
Let me answer that
So
question.
actually, oh, okay, go ahead.
Let me answer that one, because
Okay.
a lot of African women, not all, but a lot of them, they want a man to come from outside for them to marry. They want exotic something as well. Even if the man is black, it's cool if it's African American. It's cool if he's from Nigeria, from another country. We also, African people, tend to look for something that we don't have a lot around us, something that is different, something that is exotic. So we don't mind. We really don't mind. I mean, Senegalese people are quite, they are very communitarist. How do you say? They love
Communal.
themselves. Yes, and they exclude anybody who's not Senegalese. It's not only African American and stuff. Me, I was born there. I grew up there, and everything. They still don't consider me Senegalese. For them, I am Cape Virgin. I will never be Senegalese. So it's not that. Yeah, so they don't mind, because a lot of Senegalese and African women marry white men, marry other black people from other black countries,
Hmm.
and they mix a lot. Mixing in our culture, in African culture, mixing is more common and more accepted than in African American culture,
Probably.
because you
Because with
yeah.
them, because in Africa, it's really it's about economics. So,
Yes.
yeah, because so if you get a ticket
And also
to
because
get
we were
out and
mixed,
make a better life
like,
and help your family back home,
yes,
it's
yes.
economics. So here it's not really that piece for us because as even a woman being a single woman or a married woman, it
Hmm.
doesn't kind of stop the grind. You know what I'm saying? Because an African American woman still get her grind on. She's still going to get her money. She's still going to go out.
And you guys
And
maybe feel like it's a treason with
Mhm.
what you went through. Maybe you guys in America, it's a little bit specific. Maybe you guys gonna feel like you're gonna, it's a treason to your people to go with the white man who his ancestor was probably, doing the worst thing you can imagine to our ancestors. So I can understand that, but we
Yeah,
need
it's
to
a
go,
different kind of history. Yeah, I always talk
you
about
know.
the difference between our history when people say get over it and this type of thing. And,
Mm.
and I'm making peace with it. And I have to say that
Hmm.
I'm making peace with it because it's the
Hmm.
world that we're living in. So there's
I
really,
mean,
I have to make room. I have to make room
it's
for
like
mixed,
it's like
for
when.
mixed people, for mixed cultures and mixed races. But
Hmm.
there's a piece that you just wonder, and not saying that Black women don't want to be married and don't want a mate and don't want a partner, because that's to the contrary. We absolutely do want a mate and a partner. But a lot of times, we as African American women, I think I'm going to speak for myself, and I think I speak
Hmm.
for some,
Hmm.
it's hard for us to look outside of our race because
Yes.
we are so
Loyal. It's
accustomed
the
and
loyalty.
loyal to our
Hmm.
culture, our men, our children, our thing, right? So we don't do it a lot. We may should,
But since African
maybe.
American men, they did it a lot, and they did it in a way so rudely, on the face of the planet. Now Black women are doing it more and more, and they are having successful couples. They are having successful partnerships. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I am afraid that Black women are going to start to do their own exodus project of the Black men, and I am afraid that they are not coming back because apparently the things are going pretty well when they get with the white men. So this is the type of
Yeah,
things that can.
but there's such the history, right? The history is so there, Marina. So it
I
makes it
know.
a little bit more of a barrier. I'm gonna speak for myself. Like I
Yes.
sometimes I feel that, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get real tender right now because it's a real tender thing for me.
Yeah.
Feel that the pain of my great great grandmother
Mm-hmm.
and what she experienced is in my blood, is in my DNA, because sometimes I get so, I'm unnerved. Literally, my body is unnerved by white men. So I think there's definitely some blood cleanup that needs to happen, that
Yes.
actually prevents me sometimes for having that relationship.
I mean, it's not good. It's like when we say to people, you need to forgive because you are not forgiving for them, you are forgiving for yourself. You need to forgive so you can take this energy out of yourself, not to make stuff easier for them, not to make things easier for them, because you're not making nothing for nobody but yourself. So
Yeah,
when we say you need to forgive and to let that go, it's because it's holding you back, and it's holding the whole community back. Because if you
deeper
keep.
than forgiving, Marina. Is forgiving is a constant.
Yes, it's not even. No, it's a lot of forgiving, because it's even harder to forgive something that someone never really asked forgiveness for, and it's hard to forgive something that until today they're a little bit doing it, they're still a little bit doing it,
Got their foot
so.
on your neck.
So what can happen if you
Yeah,
take yourself out of the equation? Okay, they are still doing it. Like me, at my job, la 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 la. So I decide I want to get out of France. I'm going back to Africa. So what are they gonna be able to do to me if I take myself out of the equation? I'm
yeah.
not here anymore. So now what? That's why you need to know that. The only thing that is true is the way that you look at things and the way that you live through things. It's not good to feeling those trauma. The other day, and you are right, you feel that thing, because the other day when you said to me, it's because we're the only one that was beaten. Oh, I could feel it. I
Yeah, we
could
were the
feel
only
it
ones that hands were laid on.
until now. Yeah, but I never think about those things.
Yeah,
I
but
was,
yeah,
I'm a
and you
descendant.
do. I
I'm
mean,
a
can you imagine having it in your body? Like I
I mean,
didn't choose to have.
I'm a descendant of slave too. Cape Verde was a country built on slavery. We were the first step of the triangular commerce. That's why Cape Verdean people, they kind of dislike African people. They have a distinct. They
A
have like a
different, yeah,
dislike for African people, and
totally.
it's not about the complexion. It's not about the but I think they have in their memory, in their emotional memory, they have the thing where
In the
it's,
blood, in the
you
blood.
know, but
It's
it
so,
depends on people, because I have worse in my blood. In my blood, I have the slave and the master. And I have no doubt in the fact that I have both. You know what I mean?
so
So
we're
if
both.
I
So
think
we can
about that,
agree. We can agree to say that we both have that peace inside of us.
no,
One
what I
is
want you,
better
what
than
no, what
most.
I want to say, no, no. What I want to say is, no matter what are the pieces inside of you, you are the one who gonna decide what you gonna do with it. The
Individually.
emotion that it makes you feel.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to necessarily be anger or repulsiveness for the white people. It can be transformed. You can transmute your energy and make it something else. It can be transformed in a desire of making the black youth smarter. It can be transformed in a desire of making the African people and the African American people more closer, more unite. You can transform it in anything you want. Basically, you can even transform it in a inspiration to make jewelry. Just transmute any energy that is not serving you well.
Mm.
Sometimes we tend to be attached to our pain because we feel like our pain is our identity, when actually our identity is whatever we decide that it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
You
mean?
make a good point. You make a good point. But I can give you an example of my
Yes.
body reacting in a particular way when
Okay.
I am looked at romantically by a white man. I can totally give you an example of that, which is far deeper than a choice, than a mental mindset. It's
Mhm.
far deeper. It's far deeper inside the spirit, the soul. It's so
Yeah.
deeper. But that piece can go on. We can talk about that piece, and the show is only going to be an hour. We're at an hour and 23 minutes. I want to wrap up. Do you have any burning questions for me as an African American?
Yes, I have one.
Okay.
Because I want to see if in your mind there's a difference in between the white American people and white people. You know, Cape Verde is an African country where there's a lot of white people. I wanted to know if you were approached by a white but African, white but Cape Verdean man. He's African, Even if he's white, he has like the white people hair, he has the blue eyes, he's white, like
Oh,
Sweden white. But
okay. Okay.
but he's African, he's Cape Verdean, he lives in Cape Verde, he lives in Africa. Would you see that white person the same way that you would see any white American person?
Probably so.
Really?
Mhm.
So it's not a cultural thing, it's very like a, so would you wait, I have another burning question for you. Would you call yourself racist?
No.
Why? Like, what is the difference in between, like, for you, what is the difference in between your point of view when it comes to, you cannot even imagine being with a white guy, and a racist person? For you, what is the difference? So, for me, it's not racism. Let me just tell you so you don't think I'm judging you. And for me, it's not racism, huh? But I want to know your point of view.
Um, I forgot the question.
The question was, like, what is the difference in between you not being able to imagine yourself with a white man and a racist person? Why would you not call yourself racist?
No. Okay. So I want to correct that.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to correct that. It's not that I don't imagine myself with a white man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just emotionally, my body
Yes.
responds in a different way.
Repulse. Yeah,
Not
that's what.
repulse.
How?
Almost. The word isn't repulse. The word is astonishment. Almost.
You astonished by the white man?
No, him. My
As-
astonishment is his attraction, loyalty, and affiliation.
oh, but that is good. That is a good thing. Why would you not be attracted by someone who see you as a queen? Like, no matter what you do, you are a queen to him.
Because that I would have to work through that narrative. That has
Yeah.
been our narrative. See, we're on the Willie Lynch letter narrative. I don't know
Okay.
if you've read that letter.
I heard about it, but I make a great point of not taking in consideration the Willie Lynch when it comes to my life. I
Yeah,
know that it exists. I know that it's a lot of there's a lot of programming that comes, from it.
yeah.
But I refuse to acknowledge it when it comes to my life, because I just feel like uh, only the thing that you give energy to would have like impact in your life. So I choose really to not care about those ideology they were talking
Yeah.
about
So,
in that.
but you have to also remove yourself from that
Yes.
ideology because you didn't. It's not your experience.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
our experience. So sometimes
Exactly.
there's no way you can understand. There's no way you can understand unless it was your experience. Like there's no way I can understand what it would be like to speak French
Yes.
4 languages and live in the
And
South.
you know, even if Cape
Which is
Verde,
possible, but it's just not my reality. It's not something,
yes,
not a
and
narrative that's been programmed for me. I would have
exactly.
to reprogram, even for us to go to Africa, there's a
Hmm.
reprogramming. Even for us, so I want to answer that question about being racist.
Yes.
I've had to reprogram myself to love the skin that I'm in. I've had
Okay.
to reprogram myself to love the hair that I have.
Yes.
Have to reprogram myself to love my thick hips and thighs and ass
Yeah.
and titties. I mean,
So
let's be real.
when let me ask you another question. When you didn't love that about yourself, did you love the whiteness? Did you feel like the white hair is white people hair was nice? Did you feel like the complexion of white people was nice? Because I cannot
We
imagine
grew up,
a
yes,
black person
we grew
feeling
up
like
with
that.
that narrative. That
Okay.
narrative was called good hair versus
Mm-hmm.
bad hair.
Mm-hmm.
That was the narrative. And that narrative was given to us generationally passed down.
Mm-hmm.
Your hair is, that's where the word nappy
Mm-hmm.
from. Is
I know.
the black girls that had a black mama and a black daddy, that her hair
Yes.
was nappy. It was not beautiful. It was not pretty. In
Yeah.
the good hair, the straight hair that didn't have the tighter coils, which our hair isn't nappy, our hair is curly and
Mm-hmm.
coiled tighter. But the other coil, that's a looser coil and a straighter coil, is considered the better
Good hair. Yeah.
good hair,
I
the
know.
better
Yeah.
hair. I want to. So now I hope I gave you a little bit of all the things we have to unpack and
Yes.
all the reprogramming that has to come forward with us just before we get to the white man.
Mm-hmm.
Just before we
It's
even get to
yeah.
him,
It's not
just
even really
those
about
steps
the
we
white
have to
person.
unpack. And I think the women, the African American women
Mm-hmm.
who have a little bit of an easier time with it, maybe
Mm-hmm.
they haven't unpacked all that stuff. You know what
No, maybe they didn't even open the top of the box.
Yeah,
I'm not even talking about impacting. Maybe they didn't even open the box to look at it a little bit because it's hard. It's hard to face it.
it's difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult.
No, of
I'm
course
not
it's not.
racist, but I am proud of
Hmm.
my heritage in me. So
Okay.
that when you're proud of who you are as a black person,
Hmm.
you are coined racist, right?
No, who said that?
Oh, that's the narrative. That's what I'm telling you.
Really?
Yeah,
Because they are trying
yeah,
to
that's
make
the narrative.
people not love themselves.
Yeah.
That's why.
So yeah, so
But
we can't
here
show
in Europe, you know how to make white people respect you here in Europe?
mm,
Is by wearing your natural hair, showing them that you are not trying to be white in any kind of way. And when you do that, or they're gonna have a problem with you and you're not gonna have to deal with them, or they're gonna just have no other option than to respect you because you know your worth.
okay.
You apparently love yourself, even if whiteness is supposed to be better, you still feel like you are better than whiteness. So I
Okay.
really feel like we need to be a little bit more arrogant with ourselves.
Okay. So what you don't know, Marina, is
Hmm.
when that happens here in America, we don't get the job.
Mm.
We're considered racist. We're
Mm.
considered angry.
But
We're
that is
we're
gaslighting.
considered aggressive. So look,
No, that
growing
is
up,
gaslighting.
let me just say this. Let me just say this. Growing up,
Mm-hmm.
our narrative, our mothers,
Mm-hmm.
their mothers, their mothers told them to straighten their hair, get perms, look more white,
I know.
because that makes them less uncomfortable when you look more white. Don't get locks.
But
You're not
I'm
gonna
gonna
get a
tell
job. You're
you,
gonna get
it's the
fired. You're
black
gonna have problems.
people.
So it was the
It's
opposite. It's the opposite here. We have to
yes.
assimilate. We have to
Yes.
Marina,
But
I have
wait, wait, wait.
hold on,
Wait,
love. I
before you
know.
finish on that, wait. I want to say that is from the black people. White people don't care, and they tend to like our me only my side of the people. When I stopped doing the relaxer thing, my grandmother, was the one who were telling me, no, you need to put the relaxer. But the white people were okay with that. The black people still have this thing in them where, especially the old people, where they would tell you, you need to integrate, you need to make yourself easier to be in the white society. You know what I mean, or no? But it's not the white people. The white people don't really care, to be honest.
They don't care there. They don't care there. Here, it is
You
official.
think there they
No,
still
it's
care
not.
about stuff like that?
No, love. It's not that I think. I know. I know. That's not our narrative, Marina.
That's
That's
too
not our
bad.
narrative.
That's bad, because
That's not our
2021,
narrative.
I mean.
We have to assimilate and look more like them. It makes them feel comfortable. So
Yeah.
with that being said, and we can segue into that. That can be another show and another conversation.
Yes,
It
yes.
is truly true on this end. On this end,
Mhm.
that's the gospel. I have a
We're
few.
gonna change that. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, things are definitely going to change for sure.
It,
Um,
it they are already
for the
changed.
good, for the good, for all of us, for the good,
Yes.
especially.
Yes.
So Marina, I want to ask you a few. I'm going to throw out a few names,
Okay.
and I want you to
Okay.
give me one word. Okay,
Yes. Okay.
Maya Angelou,
I would say legendary inspiration.
Nicki Minaj,
I would say second greatest female rapper. Second greatest female rapper.
Black Barack Obama.
I would say great disappointment.
Woo-hoo. Kanye West.
I would say misunderstood genius.
Marcus Garvey.
Ooh, I would say all black people's example.
Trayvon Martin.
I would say one of the reason of the exodus.
Hmm. That's that one of the reasons of the Exodus Project
One of the reason for the exodus.
or the Exodus Project. Marina, where can people find you if they want more of
I mean, I
your
kind of want
content and
to want
dialogue? Where
to
can people find you?
yes, but I kind of want to hear what you have to do about those people as well. Can I throw the names to you?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. So,
Okay.
Corinthia, Maya Angelou.
Wise.
Okay, true. Nicki Minaj.
Ass.
Fake and jelly and too much ass, Nikki. Then we have Barack Hussein Obama.
Disappointment.
Okay. And then we have woo Kanye West.
I I'm trying to like
I can see it on your face. just be honest. Kanye West, just say what you think.
sell out.
Oh, he's about to divorce the Kardashian girl. So he's getting out of the get out chair.
Yeah, he's come back to his senses. Was that it?
I mean, yeah, that was it. But I love Beyonce. I want to know what you think about Beyonce. Knowles Carter.
Fierce.
Yes.
Honey, people have problems, but child, I'm an artist. I know what it takes to give all of you
I
to
know.
bring your A game. That girl gets an A for bringing her A game
I
all
mean,
the time. I'm giving it to her, honey. She's a beast.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's a
She's
beast.
like she's yeah, she's something. She's
She's
something great.
she brings her A game. She's on her A game. She's serious about developing her,
Yes, yes. I mean, you can see
building
the
her craft.
work behind all of her performance. You can see the work behind her music. You know, she's exceptional. She's
Yes.
and I even feel like she doesn't have what she really deserves. You know, because
And
she's
I
still
love
a
the
black
fact that
woman.
she's
You know.
working with more African artists with this whole Lion King piece. You know, I can say a lot of
True.
good things. I loved Coachella and how she worked with African Americans based on
Yes.
where she's from. I'm a
Yes.
Southern girl, so I know what Battle of the Bands, what
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
me, what marching bands are, what that means for our
mm-hmm,
culture. So I'm
mm-hmm.
so I'm proud of her. And
Yes.
her man, you know, she's going through it, but she's managed to keep her black man, which the whole world wants, is a black
Yes.
man. So I gotta give her kudos. Where can people find you, Marina? We have to
So
go.
yes, we have to go. We did 1 hour and 39 minutes. I think I break the record of your.
Oh
I
my
speak too
no,
much.
you broke the record of yours.
So you can find me in. I only have 2 YouTube channels.
Okay,
No
there's
Snapchat, no Facebook, no IG, no nothing. I only have 2 YouTube channels. I have my music YouTube channels called I Am King's Daughter, like on my name, how it's written. I
yes.
Am King's Daughter. You simply put I Am King's Daughter on YouTube, you will find my first channel. And I have a lifestyle channel, a podcast channel where you can find the Exodus Project podcast. That second channel is I Am KD, you know, just the word
Okay. Yeah,
IAMKD.
it's on the screen. It's on.
Good TV.
Okay.
Voila. So I have those 2 channels. My music channel is going to be a little bit more alive soon because I'm releasing new music soon and new videos soon. And my podcast channel is going to be a little bit more ambiance soon. It's going
Okay.
to be a little bit more alive. I cannot find the right words. So, but I'm sure you got me.
I do. I have you. So, Marina, really quickly, I want to open this discussion up to the chat.
Yes.
Anyone have any questions for me, Marina? Do you have any comments? I'm going to kind of read some feeds. So if you guys have anything, go ahead and put it in.
It's now or never.
Leslie Ann Turner is on the feed right now. She is
Mhm.
a brilliant individual. Marina, she here in Las Vegas, she heads up the Mass Liberation Project. And the
Okay.
Mass Liberation Project is a project for she advocates for the incarcerated, for the people who are in jail and in prison. And that's a part of our narrative too here in America, Marina, is that the prison system is on the stock market, and our little babies are being pruned to go to prison as young as 6 years old here in
To be
America.
more
And
to work.
is a part of serving that population. Kudos, Leslie, to you. Love what you're doing. Love the work.
Bravo, Leslie.
Yeah, give her bravo because she deserves it. Leslie says Beyonce is a queen, and what she's doing for Black culture is amazing. She also wants to know, she says, I agree with all these. She says, how do we get info on the Exodus projects? So,
So,
Leslie,
so basically, at the moment, until I will go to Africa and start my own exodus, my own physical exodus, at the moment it's just a discussion, you know. So it's a podcast that we do every Sunday. Unfortunately, we will not do it this week because Mula is traveling. Mula is not available.
Mula
So
is on the stream. He's on the
I know,
I
I
think
know.
better have been on this stream. He's on the
He
stream.
better be on this stream, but he's traveling at the moment, so he will not be here. So no Exodus project tomorrow, but all the other Sundays. I mean, tomorrow is just going to be me talking. We have the discussions where you can participate through the comments. you know, Corinthia came to the show and had the discussions with us, she would probably be back. Yes, you would. Yeah.
Absolutely, I'll be back.
And we want other people to come and participate with us to that discussion, because we
Yes.
want all the people, all the Black people who want to go and create reattachment to their roots, all the Black people who want to go and know about African, about what it does mean to be Black, about what it is to be African,
So to have
beyond
another
slavery,
experience.
and beyond slavery, beyond the way you were brought to that word. So I think all of those people should go to Africa, and
So
I
it's
want
just
to
for
go
black, it's
first.
just for black people.
It's just for African descent. So maybe there's
People from
some
African
people.
descent.
Yes, so maybe there's some people who would look more white, like the white Cape Virgin. Some of them, they look very white, but they are still African descent. So it's for all the African descent.
Yes,
But
yes.
yeah.
Mula says yes. There is a such
So yeah,
thing as
sorry,
being.
just to answer to your friends. So AMKD Good TV every Sunday for the discussion of the Exodus project.
Okay, so every Sunday,
Every
8 a.m.
Sunday. KD Good TV.
Okay, all
What
right.
does Mula
And,
say?
and Leslie, you can always contact me directly. And
Leslie.
but
Yes,
that's
Leslie,
it.
contact me directly.
And you can contact, yes. Leslie
And thank
also has
you for
said,
what you're doing for our brothers. We need
and sisters, yes,
everybody to do a little thing, a little something like that. You are
absolutely.
already doing like something big, but if everybody, talking to Leslie, so Leslie, if everybody did a little something like you are doing, we would be the greatest people on this planet Earth, because we are already a little bit. So we just need to fix some issues, and you are working
Work
on that.
and things. She also
So
has
thank
a
you.
comment. She also has commented. She says,
Yeah,
I will definitely check it out. I'm looking forward.
thank you.
I'm particularly interested in building alliances and connections to Black people around the world.
Yes,
So the
that's what we need
ancestors,
to be doing, Leslie.
yeah.
Yes.
So the ancestors definitely guided me to this discussion, and I'm grateful, she says.
We are
Mula,
grateful
I just
for
want to
you,
go
too.
through, just shout to people out really quickly.
Yes.
Mula, King Mula, we miss you. Get on back here. Get you on live with I am King's daughter, so we can have further discussion. He says that there is a such thing as being too Black in America. It's so true.
Mm,
Um, Also, Miss Angel Levy, we call her Lala. She's like, you're the only one who can call me Lala. Who is
okay.
she's raised 5, 6 children who are
Wow.
amazing
Wow.
beings, amazing beings, and I respect her so much. She has said, tuning in from Cali. Glad to see us in dialogue. It's been long needed. So we have the elders approval. Teresa,
Thank you, Lala.
I'm gonna shout out Teresa Campbell. I want to shout out to Alma, who just kind of chimed in. I want to shout out to Tahari Yabin Yasrel. She says shalom. Blessings,
Shalom,
love.
sister.
I want to shout out Catherine, who's on the feed. I want to shout out Penny, who chimed in with us today. So
Ooh, you have people.
yes, that is a great thing. It is a great thing. So,
Cool.
Marina, I'm gonna close out the show. Hang out back,
Okay, no problem.
okay?
I want to thank you, everybody
Thank you
that
so much.
were
Thank you.
here.
Thank
Sorry
you for
for
being
the length.
yourself and sharing your soul, your energy, your knowledge,
Thank you.
your experiences, being honest, being transparent. I'm gonna have
Mm-hmm.
you back on. We're gonna have to do another something of like African women and African American women
I'm
and
so down for that.
little tips for getting a man
Let's do a show together.
and
Let's do a
growing
show
together.
together. Let's do that.
Let's do that. Thank you
But
so much.
If I
Bring her
can
back
say
safely,
a
okay?
little last something, I just want to say thank you to everyone who are here listening to this discussion. We need to be having this discussion. We need to have a bond that nothing can break. We are the same people. We are like different branches of the same tree. We are different members of the same family. Like our union is the biggest and the greatest resource that we have. That plus the gold, the diamonds, the oil, the everything that is in the land that belongs to us. So please consider coming back to your Africanness, consider coming back to your land, and consider taking advantage of your resources as well, because it's yours too. Stop just focusing on what people in America try to make you think that you are. Stop just seeing yourself through eyes of people in America, no matter what they skin color is. I want all the black people in the universe to know that they have somewhere that they can call home anytime, any day. It's called Africa, and we are plenty rich, plenty money, plenty full of resources. We want everybody to come home so we can share and we can be the great people that we are supposed to be. Thank you and shalom to everyone.
Ah, hang out. Hold on. Oh my God, that was so rich. So rich. I feel really full and blessed. We needed that. We needed that conversation. We need to have more of these conversations. Um, it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely necessary. So, I offer a health tip every single show. And we don't only speak about a problem, but we also render a solution. This week's health tip is to remain fearless and trust yourself a little bit more. I'm going to say that again. Remain fearless. Let courage run our lives and less of fear, and trust ourselves a little bit more. What inspired me to do this edition of Power in My Pivot was the topic. This topic I felt was the elephant in the room. I had had such a conversation many times, but privately. Um, and I have subjected myself to the rejection personally of Africans not liking African Americans. Marina made a great point with us not being attached to the narrative that we're given, but go out and make the narrative that we want to experience. The time is now. The time has come for me to yield to the nudge that I received to have this conversation openly and publicly, and I was obedient. And oh my, what a time. And I'm so glad I was. What a time. The time is now. Power in My Pivot is a live broadcast that happens every single Saturday. It happens at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 1 Central, and 2 p.m. Easterns. Kings and queens, let's pivot from basic to bona fide. And always remember that nobody is better than you, and you are nobody than anyone else. Said to me by a very wise man, my grandfather, because there is power, power in your pivot. So until next week, I will see you soon.